Comfort food to me means smothered in gravy. This chicken Loco Moco is exactly that, topped with a fried egg, and it's just next level. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, a home cook bringing you simply delicious food ideas. I don't even know if I can call this chicken Loco Moco because typically Loco Moco is a Hawaiian dish that uses a hamburger patty that's smothered in gravy and topped with a fried egg. But I thought, why not try it with chicken? Apologies to all the Hawaiians that are watching this. Depending on how many people you are serving, you're going to want 1 piece of chicken thigh per person. I'm going to season my chicken thigh with some kosher salt on both sides. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I find that there's a lot of recipes out there that will tell you to put the salt and pepper in the breading or like in the flour mixture or in the breading mixture or even in the eggs. And I find that if you just season the meat directly, there's more of that flavor that's going to stick onto the chicken versus being coated in flour and then not actually sticking onto the chicken at all. And also adding ground pepper. And we're going to do this on both sides. You can remove the fat if you want. I'm just going to leave it all intact because, well, I don't want to take out a cutting board. I don't want to do any extra work, but that's just me. To do the basic breading, I'm using a flour, 1 egg. I'm going to beat up. And I started off with about 1/2 cup of panko, which is a Japanese bread crumb. And you can keep adding to it. You don't have to use a whole cup to begin with. So I find that when recipes call for like a whole cup of flour or a whole cup of breading, it's a real waste. So I just start off with a little bit at a time. So with the flour, I start off with about 1/4 cup and I just move up from there. Okay, we're going to lightly dredge each piece of chicken into the flour mixture and shake off any excess before moving to the egg. So this just creates a nice breading on the chicken. I want to make sure that all the flour is wet so that when we stick it into the panko, it will adhere quite well. I do like to cover it a little bit more and just press it in to at least the top part. We're going to lay it onto a wide rack to sit before we cook it. All right, last piece. So again, I started off with about 1/4 cup of flour. So look at all the flour that I still have left. And I have breaded 5 pieces of chicken thigh. This was still 1 egg. I didn't have to crack open another egg. And this was also about 1/2 cup of panko. See, just enough. If you put a whole cup of panko on there, you would have wasted a whole 1/2 cup. Next, I want to prepare the mixture for the gravy. So I have 1 cup of chicken stock, and I'm going to add 1/2 cup of oyster sauce. We're making quite a bit of gravy today, so if you want, you can always have this, but again, my whole comfort thing is gravy. Anything smothered in gravy. We're also using 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. Just give it a stir, and that's pretty much it. Okay, and set this aside. I'm going to shallow fry the chicken today. So I have my cast iron pan, and I'm going to set it on medium. You want to add enough oil to fill the pan to about 1/2 inch of oil. I'm using avocado oil today, but you can use like a canola oil or vegetable oil or peanut oil that you can heat up well, and that will give a neutral flavor. You want to heat the oil up to about 350, 370 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't want to shallow fry, you can stick the thighs in an air fryer, or you can bake it in the oven. Just make sure you give the coating a spray of cooking oil before you do either of those methods, and you will get a crispy chicken as well. Okay, you know it's hot enough when you stick a chopstick in there and it starts to bubble like that. Okay, gently place it in. Don't want to overcrowd, so I'm just going to do a couple pieces at a time. I'm going to use a splatter screen, and I'm going to cook that for about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. It's been about 3 minutes. We're going to flip them over. Ooh, look at how golden brown it is. All right, I'm going to turn off the heat first. And we're just going to take these and put them on a paper towel to drain off some of the excess oil and get the next batch going. And remember to turn the heat back on. Okay, turning off the heat, getting this next batch done. Okay, I have to say, if you put this in the oven or an air fryer, you're not going to get this crispy golden skin. Okay, we're going to get the gravy going. That mixture that we set aside earlier. I'm going to turn this on to medium also and heat it up to a simmer. While the gravy is starting to simmer, I'm going to create a cornstarch slurry, about a tablespoon of cornstarch mixed with about a tablespoon of cool water. Remember that cornstarch doesn't dissolve in hot water, so make sure your water is either room temperature or colder. Once your sauce is boiling, turn it down to a lower temperature to just a simmer. Because if the sauce is too hot, if there's like really hot areas of the pot, the cornstarch slurry might actually coagulate in those spots. So it's best to just get a whisk going and start adding your slurry slowly. And then it will thicken nicely. And these bits that you see is chicken stock bits from the Better Than bouillon that I used. Okay, we just want to let that simmer for about a minute, and then we're going to take it off the heat. I wanted to fry the egg in the oil that was left over from the chicken, but I just couldn't. The oil was really quite dark, so I cleaned it out a little bit. I'm going to turn the pan back on to medium. Okay, adding a tablespoon of cooking oil. Again, I'm using avocado oil. And I'm just going to fry up one egg to show you how to assemble the dish. So once the pan is hot, if it's hot enough, the egg will start to cook right away. Okay, just a little bit of salt on the egg, turning it off. I have my rice ready to go. Putting a piece of chicken right on top. Pouring the gravy over it. Perfectly cooked egg right on top. And I have some chives here. I'll just snip some to put on top for garnish, and that's it. Are you all ready for the taste?
This looks amazing. Right, I'm due. This is the taste. All right, again, apologies to the Hawaiians in the audience that this might be an abomination, but guys, any protein that is fried is going to be awesome. And before I move forward, must do the requisite poking of the yolk. So let us commence. Oh, it's like yummy lava. I'm gonna cut into this. Oh, you guys hear that? That's the sound of crispy. Some egg, yes. Perfectly fried egg, crispy on the bottom, and get some of that yolk. Oh no, you know what? I'm just gonna dip it in there. Here you go. For the perfect bite. Incoming. Oh gosh, so good. Woo, awesome. Oh, that was an amazing first bite because you have the crisp of the chicken and the panko crust and the egg that's like perfectly fried, so it's got that crispy bottom, and with the gravy and the yolk bringing the creaminess and the umami of the gravy together. That was an explosive first bite, and I'm looking forward to getting into the rest of this. So guys, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort, and if you can't get to Hawaii, you bring Hawaiian flavors into your own home with some basic ingredients. You guys got to do it.
Awesome, thanks, dude. Guys, we'll let you in on a little secret. We are working on another cookbook, and this is definitely going in there. But in the meantime, you can check it out, the recipe, on my website, FLO'S.com.